Her mom, Cheryl Ford, says her daughter had grit.
I had problems with her when she was born. She was in the hospital for like a month. She's my fighter. She been fighting, and she left out fighting.
16-year-old Kyierah Jeffries was a beautiful young girl who was the one in her family to make everyone laugh. Her personality was infectious. When you were sad, she was the one to make you happy. She attended Eureka High School in St. Louis, where she was a sophomore and briefly participated in the Color Guard program. Like most teens, she loved spending time on social media, especially making TikTok videos. Kyierah also loved to be around family, often babysitting her nieces, nephews, and cousins. On May 14th, Kyierah was with family members in St. Louis's Kyierah neighborhood. At some point, she separated from her family, causing her sister to call her cell phone to see where she was. Kyierah would answer the phone stating, "He shot me. He shot me." Around 3:45 p.m., police were called to the 5900 block of Minnesota Avenue in South St. Louis to investigate a shooting. Upon arrival, they would find a young girl in and out of consciousness, suffering from a gunshot wound to the stomach.
A family begging for answers after their teenage daughter was gunned down on the streets of St. Louis. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. Kyierah Jeffries was just 16 years old, a sophomore at Eureka High School.
First responders took Kyierah to the hospital, where she was no longer conscious or breathing. She was officially pronounced dead. Kyierah had been shot just several blocks away from her home. Now her family is scrambling for answers. According to her aunt, that day Kyierah was with family members. She says all she knows is that Kyierah was separated from the family for a while and ended up inside of a car with a man who then shot the 16-year-old in the stomach. He then left her and drove away. Shortly afterwards, Kyierah's sister called her to see where she was, and even after being shot, Kyierah was able to answer her sister's call. All she said was, "He shot me. He shot me." The family does not know who the man is or why Kyierah was in the car with him. Her family is having a hard time coping with the loss, but still trying to remember Kyierah at her best.
I just want to know why my sister, why? She was a baby.
The pain cuts too deep, and the loud cries reflect the life lost.
And these people are very wicked out here. They're getting very wicked. They're killing kids.
Their loved one, 16-year-old Kyierah Jeffries, was just with them 48 hours prior before her life was cut short.
My sister never did anything to nobody out here. She tried to be the sweetest person she could be.
Saturday afternoon in South St. Louis on the 5900 block of Minnesota Avenue, police responded to a call for a shooting and found her outside with a gunshot wound to the stomach. Once at the hospital, she died from her injuries shortly after. Her mom, Cheryl Ford, says her daughter had grit.
I had problems with her when she was born. She was in the hospital for like a month. She's my fighter. She been fighting, and she left out fighting.
On Monday, Jeffries should have been going back to school to Eureka High. Instead, a crisis response team from Rockwood School District was at her home comforting her family, helping them in these dark moments, wishing Jeffries' light could still be with them.
You're tearing apart families. Like, our family is so hurt over this.
After a violent weekend in St. Louis, Jeffries' family begs for change.
All families grieving right now. It's senseless. This violence in St. Louis is senseless, and it needs to stop.
They want answers and for all the love to come forward.
As a mom, I don't have anything. I don't know where to go. I never thought to look for a funeral home or anything, so I'm lost.
Kyierah's death was a part of a violent weekend in St. Louis, where 5 people were killed and 8 wounded. Kyierah's death marked the 8th child killed by gunfire in the St. Louis metro area this year. Rockwood School District Superintendent Tim Ricker said in an email to district families on Monday that there will be counselors, social workers, and social-emotional behavioral specialists available for students and staff this week following Kyierah's death. Our sincere thoughts and sympathies are with Kyierah's family, as well as the educators and friends who knew and loved her. Please keep the Eureka community and our Rockwood families in your thoughts and prayers. Let's do all we can to find a way to heal after this tragedy. The family has created a GoFundMe for Kyierah's funeral expenses. The shooting is still under investigation. Homicide detectives are asking the public for any information that could lead to an arrest.